Imagine a city where the future meets the present, where innovation knows no bounds, and where the skyline glistens with possibilities. Well, you don't have to imagine anymore, because Saudi Arabia has just unveiled the Line City, a colossal $1 trillion megaproject that's about to redefine urban living on a mind-blowing scale. The Line City, a brainchild of Saudi Arabia, isn't your average metropolis. It's a groundbreaking endeavor that defies convention, promising a life less ordinary. With a price tag that could make your head spin, it's no wonder the world's buzzing about it. So, what's the fuss all about, you may ask? Well, buckle up, because we're about to take you on a wild ride through the future of urban living. But before we begin, we would like you guys to subscribe to the channel, like the video, and hit that notification bell icon so that you don't miss out on any amazing and entertaining content. When you envision a modern metropolis, you probably think of sprawling landscapes crisscrossed by highways, dotted with skyscrapers, and choked with traffic. The Line throws that familiar model out the window. Instead, imagine a continuous, mirror-encased megastructure that runs 170 kilometers through the desert, but is only 200 meters wide. Within this slender strip of space, an entire city will be stacked vertically in layers. The surface level will have lush parks and pedestrian walkways under the open sky. One level down will house infrastructure like water and power, and another subsurface layer will contain a high-speed transit system to whisk residents from end to end in only 20 minutes. The city will run entirely on renewable energy from solar, wind, and geothermal. With no internal combustion engines or carbon emissions, 95% of the surrounding lands can be preserved for nature and agriculture. Sensors and AI will monitor everything from utilities to noise levels, optimizing comfort and efficiency. When complete, this vertical city will house 9 million residents and over 1 million jobs, with an average population density of 260,000 people per square kilometer. And to put that into perspective, that's over 5 times more dense than present-day Manila in the Philippines. Yet the aim is for abundant green spaces and all the amenities of modern life within a 5-minute walk or ride. The Saudi government touts this project as a civilizational leap in urban living. The $500 billion Neom mega project, which incorporates the Line as its spine, is slated to create nearly 500,000 jobs and add $48 billion to GDP by 2030. It's a bold experiment to build sustainable cities from the ground up. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. A futuristic linear city in the desert? That sounds like something straight out of a sci-fi novel. But, believe it or not, the Line actually builds upon urban design ideas that architects and planners have been kicking around for over a century. Back in 1882, a Spanish planner named Arturo Soria envisioned linear cities enabled by a newfangled tram system. He only got to try it out on one neighborhood, though, before the concept sputtered. In the 1950s, French architect Yona Friedman proposed integrating modular, vertical structures to conquer urban sprawl. But unfortunately, it never got off the drawing board. And in the 60s, an Italian group, Super Studio, conceived a wild, continuous monument spanning the entire planet. A cool thought experiment, but not remotely realistic. You see, while these forward thinkers laid the conceptual groundwork, nobody ever pulled off a linear urban design on a large scale in the real world. Until now, that is. After Prince Mohammed bin Salman unveiled plans for the Line in 2021, the world took notice. Now, while some critiqued it as a dystopian experiment, construction is now well underway. The prince aims to have residents moving in by 2030. Recent drone footage shows excavators churning across the Line's entire 170-kilometer length. It's truly a 21st century feat of engineering to transform these decades-old thought experiments into reality. So, while the design is visionary, it also has roots in ideas that urbanists have been developing for over a century. Now, of course, pulling off such a grand linear city sustainably is still an immense challenge, but the Line is poised to either revolutionize urban living or provide a cautionary tale about architectural overreach. Construction. Now let's get into some of the nitty-gritty details of how this ambitious linear city will actually be constructed. The Line will consist of 135 connected modules, each around 800 meters long and 500 meters tall. Now, let's look at some recent construction progress. In Module 43, over 4,500 pillars have been driven into the ground, at times installing 60 per day. Massive excavation moves 1 million cubic meters of earth each week near the marina modules. Controversies. Now, there's no doubt that a project as huge and futuristic as the line is bound to garner some mixed reactions. Some experts have questioned whether the slick sci-fi vibes in the concept art can realistically be achieved at that scale. With so many moving parts, achieving that seamless utopian aesthetic could get muddled. When it comes to massive urban planning endeavors like this, Marshall Brown, an associate professor at Princeton University, expresses mixed thoughts. He points out that achieving the slick, futuristic look depicted in the concept art could be a formidable challenge due to the myriad of factors at play. Helene Chartier of C40 Cities draws comparisons to past unrealized linear city projects like Soria's 1882 design and a 1965 proposal for a linear settlement in New Jersey. Dutch architect Vinnie Maas, while intrigued by the concept, finds fault in the monotonous profile presented in the concept art. He raises concerns about how this could impact wind flow inside the city. However, he commends the overall concept for its approach to densification and heat regulation. Philip Oldfield from the University of New South Wales emphasizes that the quality of life within the line may depend more on effective management rather than its visual appeal. Oldfield also highlights the environmental impact, noting a substantial carbon footprint due to the use of materials like glass, steel, and concrete in constructing the towering 500-meter-tall buildings. Additionally, the city's vast 170-kilometer footprint could disrupt adjacent ecosystems and migratory routes, similar to the effects of highways. The mirrored exterior facade might pose a hazard to birds. In the realm of digital rights, concerns arise about data collection within the line. Experts suggest that it could become a quote-unquote surveillance city due to data sharing arrangements that might not fully respect consent. These concerns are compounded by Saudi Arabia's questionable human rights record, raising fears of potential data misuse. However, Neom CEO Joseph Bradley reassures that privacy issues are being addressed and that Saudi Arabia has instituted personal data protection laws. Beyond evaluating the merits of the proposed city, there's scrutiny on the actions of the Saudi government in pursuing this venture. In October of 2022, the sentencing to death of Shadli Ibrahim and Atullah al-Hawaiti, members of the Hawaitat tribe, for refusing to vacate their village for the Neom megaproject, garnered significant attention. This came after Abdul Rahim al-Hawaiti, Shadli's brother, was fatally shot by security forces in 2020 for opposing the displacement of local residents to make way for the project. Regarding feasibility, Etin Bo Abdul, an architect and urban planner, questions the 3D images presented, suggesting that they resemble video game designs rather than classic architectural renderings. He points out that the plan incorporates technologies that don't currently exist. Furthermore, many of the project's key announcements, especially in the areas of energy and transportation, rely on technologies that are still in the conceptual stage, lacking prototypes. So constructively, this hyper-dense and zero-carbon model sounds almost too utopian. Can such an extreme urban environment nurture human happiness and community? How will privacy and mental health be supported? As the line takes shape, its real progress and impacts will be fascinating to watch. Thin stream of city along the desert could indeed revolutionize how we build and live for generations to come. Now that you've caught a glimpse of the Line City, we want to hear your thoughts. What do you think about this audacious mega project? Are you excited about the future it promises, or do you have concerns? Drop your comments down below. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to hit that subscribe button, and don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.